On the last episode, our cadets began their mission to recover an adamantine meteorite. A cover mission for their real mission to discover the INC Academy's saboteur and uncover their true plans. They hurtled through wild space in a Tyrant ship infested with clockwork horrors on the holodeck. There's Klingons on the holodeck, Jim. In an epic clash, the cadets overcame the fearsome clockwork horrors and their buzzsaws. But I'm sure you know that because you watched the video, right? Right?
Victory.
Amongst the trash, the crew found a busted autonom and various spare parts. But before they could begin the repair, McKevin crawled in, covered with ash and smoke. Fire in the galley, he choked. The galley was ablaze, and Ryeback was dead, burned to death.
You know, we have a situation. Get down there immediately. I'm fishing, whatever.
Pulling Ryeback's corpse to safety, Zominius got the blaze under control. Suddenly, from the smoke, fire methods emerged, turned up the heat, and a new battle began.
A few moments later,
Methods dispatched, Dr. Carrie Holmes descended to inspect the area, and the burnt-out portable stove revealed signs of magical misconduct. This was murder. We have a crime scene.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to those of you at home. We are roleINC, and this is our Smelljammer campaign. And we will be rolling through wild space once again with Astral agents and boats. Agent Kabuki, introduce yourself.
Hey everybody, I'm Kabuki. I'm playing Axel, a human barbarian stuck in a Leonin body. You got to see a little glimpse last episode of some mental issues he might have towards a certain type of species. A little bit of backstory there, so we'll see what else unfolds tonight.
Lovely. Agent Goonie, introduce yourself.
Hey, all, Goonie here. I will be playing Ace, the half-elf swashbuckler formerly of Neverland, who's found himself in the body of Githyanki and learning how to become an astral agent.
Beautiful. Agent Wynn, introduce yourself.
Hello, I am Wynn. I am playing Dr. Carrie. She's all wizard. She is formerly elf, but now in a Thrycreen body. And what does it mean to be either an elf or a Thrycreen in this sort of situation?
Beautiful. Agent Boggs, introduce yourself.
Greetings, everyone. My name is Boggs, and I will be playing Astria. She's a Shad Arkai, stuck in the body of an Aarakocra, and she's currently trying to figure out who done it.
And I am your friendly neighborhood rat bastard GM Kiwi, and currently our agents, our soon-to-be agents, our budding cadets, are on board a Tyrant ship headed through the Astral Sea towards the planet of Hakatha, and we've just had some disturbing events at the end of our last episode, but that was way back last year. So who would like to throw out some broken pieces of memory so we can start piecing together where we left things off?
Ryeback is dead. He's burnt.
Quartermaster Ryeback, the chef, the master of he gave you chocolate pudding. His
Indeed.
scorched cadaver.
A good man.
is found in the galley. Okay. What else?
He was technically our liaison for the secret mission that everybody knows about besides Axel, which is infiltrating the Mercane and figuring out what's kind of been going on with that. Even though our real mission is, like you said, to go to Hakab to get the adamantine meteor that is helped to build the thrones. Before anybody else does, I think. We're kind of like a race to get there first.
Okay. So there's kind of missions within missions. So do you want to just clarify what the secret mission is that you were tasked by Mert, the old wolf leader of the INC Academy?
essentially, from what I remember, he's suspecting that the Mercane might be responsible for the attack at the academy that we all went through, and he suspects that it might be partially his fault, and he wants to know who could potentially be pulling the strings as well. So we're basically trying to go into the Mercane, buddy up to them, see what's really going on.
Okay. So the fire in the galley, there were some details garnered by Dr. Carey's magnificent investigation of the crime scene. Do you recall, or shall I remind you?
No, well, we different. There was all sorts of flames and fires and acids and terrible things being spit back and forth, but when we came closer, we realized that the explosion around the galley could not have been sort of the mephits or just the cook fire. There was something sacred. There was something about it that suggested that it came from the galley itself, meaning that those runes, like we've encountered, meaning it was placed there somehow. This explosion, the mephits are something different.
Yes.
Yeah, I think he found like it was like another ward, and then he also figured that the mephits were not something that should have been there, that they were possibly summoned. So there was either somebody infiltrated or a stowaway possibly on board, like Astria possibly summarized. So that's kind of, I think, where we left off.
Yes, and I believe the information was a crit that you rolled on your investigation check. So one small tidbit there for Dr. Carey, as a talented spellcaster herself, she would realize that someone who placed such things or used such things or summoned such things would have to be a fairly knowledgeable spellcaster themselves.
Okay, right. Yes, it wasn't a holy light. It was just a very intense radiant light. Radiant was the word I was looking for.
There you go. Okay. The captain, unfortunately, has not been able to join us this evening, so we're down a captain. Real life is a sumbitch, but it has to come first, as much as we love fantasy games. So there you are, down in the galley. Your investigation has concluded. McKevin is currently helming the ship as you continue to race towards the wild space system you need to get to reach the planet Hakatha. Over to you guys. What do you do next? What would you like to check out? What would you like to see?
Well, it seems to me there's two possibilities. One, wherever these runes came from, they were placed on the galley before we brought it. That was part of his gear, right? So either it was placed there by someone outside of this group as we loaded in, or once installed, it was put there by someone who would have been inside. And that person had to be fairly adept at the arcane arts. Can I tell if can Carrie tell if like she could make sort of a thing, that sort of thing herself, or is that like out of her reach?
Yeah, give me a with the investigation check that you've got, gives you advantage on an Arcana check.
No, we're remembering how to do this. There we go. Oh, jeez. I rolled a 1 on the die, 7 overall.
You got advantage, though.
Yeah, you've got advantage.
Oh, I did.
True.
Oh,
Yep.
great.
There you go.
Sweet. Well, that's a 20 then.
There is a moment where you're kind of like blanking on it. You're like, is that something that I can do? And it comes back to you. You feel that maybe there's some spells that were back there in your memory at one stage that never made it into the rewrite of your spell book, like some higher level spells that formerly you used to remember and used to know, just kind of not quite there. They're kind of in the back of your head, but they're so complicated, something's still not quite right up there. That
Okay.
and you think those ones that maybe you used to have would have been something that you could have pulled this off yourself. But at the moment, with the kind of befuddled state as you are readjusting to life as a bug,
Yeah.
so
Right.
maybe you'd say just
Okay.
out of your reach at the currently, but used to be within your reach.
Well, knowing what I know about what I saw, there's only two people who possibly could have done this, and one of them is myself, being of course a master of the arcane arts, and the other, and she sort of looks up through the ceiling and looks at where the helm is, because that's where McKevin is up there. And between you and me, I don't think he could pull it off. So, I think it must have been outside.
There's a stowaway.
So at the moment,
Oh,
if
that's a third option I didn't think about.
If I remember correctly, you summoned to the galley Vina and her cohorts.
Yeah, the two sisters, yes.
And
The
Fred
related.
and Cricklet have now made. Cricklet was there, the Thrycreen, helping put out the fire. And so you're having this conversation with them as well?
I think that would make it better murder mystery environment, so yes.
Okay, excellent. So when you say that about McKevin, Vina's like, well, surprisingly, Four Eyes is pretty good. Like, I was on the ship with him, so don't underestimate Four Eyes. I mean, I'm not saying that it was him, but just don't underestimate it.
Wait, so you were on the ship with him the whole time? Was together? Were you together the whole time? Was he alone?
On this ship, I was fishing.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. We know.
Yeah, I didn't hang out
When
with
Ryeback
Four
was-
Eyes. I'm just saying
was
he's not
assassinated.
as lame as you might think he's. He's lame, but just not that lame.
Well, obviously, but so you were fishing the entire time, even when. So he could have done it.
I do think it is odd that he was the first one to come up to us when this situation unfolded, and no one else knew about it.
It may be time to bring him into question, so to speak. And Esther's going to turn to Zozo and say, Captain, if you wouldn't mind taking over the helm and sending our good old friend Kevin down here, be much appreciated.
All right. After a climb, and the time it takes for McKevin to make his way back down, a few moments pass. Is there anything you want to do in that time? Take stock of the damage, or you're just kind of like standing around?
I just suppose we have any coffins in the inventory.
Do we throw his body out into space? Or do we keep it?
I think we should maybe keep it. I'd like to make sure, check the damage to the ship, see if it's still, sound to fly.
Vina, at the suggestion of throwing him out into space, it's like, that's mean. You're so mean. Like, they have money back at the academy. They can just use their magic to bring him back to life. They can't do that after throwing his body out to space.
Wait, what?
Axel looks at her like really confused, like he'd never heard that anyone could be brought back to life before, and he's just like taken aback.
What rank do you need to attain such that they'll start reviving you if you are killed in action?
That's a good question.
Ins and outs, but you've got your jar. So if you bust up your jar, you just get a new jar.
Do you know if that was his original jar, or is that a new
Not
one?
friends with the hippo. Okay, I'm just saying, don't throw his body into space.
All right. Let's just shove him up into one of them tendrils up top and stow him away up there for safekeeping. She's gonna look over at, I guess, the Thrycreen cadet that isn't Dr. Carey, and kind of like nudge her beak over to like, come on, get to it.
Crickbot like is staring at you and you're like, you want me to carry the hippo up to the very top of the ship?
Well, somebody will help you. Sure.
Yeah.
Like,
Couple of, pick and choose, do what you need to do, but make sure you get back here when you're done.
Can we find somewhere down here maybe for him so we don't have to carry him so far? He's pretty big.
I mean, I suppose you could, but he's gonna start sinking up the place real soon, and you probably don't want that, because he already don't smell great.
that's probably a good reason to keep him down in the cargo hold, honestly.
I'm going to be honest. My concern is that we're flying through the ether, and the ether I think is well established to be room temperature. So Ryeback isn't going to last. He's not going to be a pretty picture in a day or two of this. We have no deep fridge of space to throw him into. Drag him by the rope tied to a leg.
Our only hope is to put him away and seal him up.
Thrycreen gives a two-armed salute that's the most lackluster salute you've ever seen, and Fred just kind of like shakes his gelatinous head and they kind of start dragging away Ryeback's body, trying to figure out how they're going to get that huge GIF up into one of the lookout tentacles. That's going to take them a long time to figure out. As Ace begins to take stock, you can see that the cooking surface, that's completely unusable. That won't be able to be used to heat or cook food. One of the barrels of the supply was emptied to put out the fires. There have been 5 cooking oil flasks placed in pretty deliberate places to seemingly try and make the blaze worse. And there's also like half a cord of pre-cut firewood placed around strategically near those oil canisters to heighten the blaze. And you've lost a chest of fresh foods as well, of the food that you need to eat in your journey. So the entire chest is gone in the blaze. There would have been more lost if not for Ximenius's ability to put out such large amounts of flames quickly. McKibben appears. Yes.
Esther's gonna kind of look at everybody else and then kind of shrug her shoulders and say, I suppose, well, this is kind of awkward, so I think maybe we should stop conversing separately, and then if I deem it necessary, we can bring it to the group. What do you say, partner? And she's gonna look at the rest of the senior officers essentially, and kind of like nod at them, say like, "Don't worry, I got this." Like,
did you want to apologize to me in private?
Sure.
I think that's
McKibben?
okay. Yes.
McKibben, could you look at these right over here? And Carrie sort of leans to the markings that she found, and she sort of traces, the arc of where the runes were. Do you see do you know what this is?
It's it looks like a stove.
But you don't see the traces here. And she sort of runs her finger over where she sees there was mark. Can you see this?
The fire marks?
Yes, you don't recognize the patterns here, and here. See that the sigil. You don't. This doesn't mean anything to you.
It burned, and now it's broken.
And Carrie looks over at Vina, having defended his aptitude. She sort of says, she just raises her eyebrow very prominently at Vina. Looks like
whatever. Like, if the captain's like upstairs, like, and if nobody needs me, I have some fish I was trying to catch, so... Okay.
I mean, you ain't gonna be going very far, so I suppose you can go back to fishing.
Her and her mean girls kind of... Off they go. McKibben's still kind of like just staring at you like...
Kevin, were you with Vina the whole time you were on the ship before we took off?
No. Vina doesn't like me.
No way. I can't believe that. But was she fishing the whole time with her friends, or was she down here for a little bit of the time, helping to set up the cooking area?
Maybe she was down here some of the time?
Good to know. She can be helpful. Noted.
All right, look, this ain't going nowhere. Look, McCaven, we think that someone probably killed old Ryeback here, and yeah, there ain't many spellcasters on board that could have done that. So I don't suppose you would know how to find someone like that, or would know anything about that. Not saying that you would do that necessarily.
The Thrycreen is pretty good at magic.
Do you mean me?
Dr. Carey.
Well, yeah.
Dr. Carey was with us the entire time, though.
Real quick question, out of character. When you were talking about the setup of how everything was done with the rope and stuff, what was the things that were in like certain spots where did you say there were candles or something?
Just going through the supplies, you notice like certain supplies have been like kind of strategically
positioned,
placed, and they've like burned and they're destroyed, but you notice that like they've kind of been strategically positioned to make the blaze kind of worse.
Gotcha.
Like dried wood and oil, flammable stuff.
Can I go now? Are we finished? All your questions?
I mean, do you know how we could go about finding like a stowaway on board? I mean, it seems like if they's good enough to befuddle you and the good doctor here, then maybe they's a bit more powerful than we thought, and
that's definitely probably what happened.
McKevin, did you do it? Did you do this? Did you see this? Did you do this? McKevin,
listen, McKevin.
McKevin.
Somebody has assassinated Ryeback, and at best,
Dr. Carey, make an intimidation check as you suddenly start yelling at him.
At best, we're gonna fail our mission and maybe be expelled. At worst, we're all gonna die on this ship.
That's a 14 on intimidation.
I'm highly offended that you would leave me in wild space and now accuse me of murder.
Wait. We didn't leave you in wild space. Vina left you in wild. Remember that.
That's just motive. That's just motive, though, isn't it? That's just motive. You're stating, McKevin, you have the right to a lawyer. You have the right to an attorney. Anything you say can and will be used against you.
All right. Now let's just hold on here for a gosh dang minute. Look, everybody here.
How do you fly that boat so good?
What was it that Axel said?
How do you fly the boat so good?
I studied.
I think we're all jumping to conclusions before we actually have any evidence. We're all picking and choosing things that we know, and we don't even know half of what's going on here.
That's right. And I'm highly offended about that.
Listen, we're all offended. We could have all died, okay? We're all upset, McKevin. I'm sorry that your teammates let you drift away into wild space. And maybe I had a little bit of that, and I will apologize. It won't happen.
I accept your apology in the future when you apologize.
Kevin, the wheels of justice are slow and they're painful, but they run true. If you are exonerated, I will believe the evidence. And until then, you are innocent until proven guilty.
I like how that works. That seems good. Can I go then?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yes.
Just keep an eye open, I guess.
Axel's gonna put a hand out and stop him real quick and say, "What were you doing, and why were you the first one on scene? Why was nobody else around besides you when Ryeback got assassinated?"
I heard the noise from down the hall, and I came, and there was the smoke and the fire. I heard him screaming and shouting. He was fighting the little fire devils. But I don't know how it started. I thought I should come and get you guys because you're the officers. Did I make a mistake?
You didn't think about helping him out?
No, I thought about getting help.
You ran like a coward.
I climbed up the shaft. That was really hard, actually.
Well, you did the right thing, I think. Just if you see something, say something. Right?
That's true.
I don't know. Yeah.
That doesn't seem very specific.
Help us to help you, McKevin, because you're the prime suspect right now. So we're just saying, keep an eye out. We want to prove you innocent. But somebody definitely set this mission up to fail and killed Ryeback. It's very serious.
See, these people have a sense.
Okay, if I see something, I'll say something.
Ace, I will slap him on the ass and that boy.
I'm watching you, coward.
He backs off.
Now what do we do?
Well, it would seem he's either real good at pulling the wool over our eyes, or we have an intruder on board. Because I doubt any one of us on the ship that we know of could have done this if our good doctor here doesn't know.
No more than someone who can handle their sigils a little better than I can could do this.
Ryeback certainly didn't set this up for himself.
When he says that, Esther's going to kind of like blink and say, set it up for himself. You said that was radiant, like light?
Yeah, very hot enough to shed a lot of light, yes.
Would that be like a kind of a holy kind of light, perhaps?
It could be. Could be.
Do we know if Ryeback was some kind of holy man of some sort, like a food cleric?
God of pudding? I don't know, do we?
The details that you know about Ryeback is that he lost a heirloom rifle that he was very upset about.
Yes.
Though the old wolf really seemed to trust him. He was the only one.
Well, I suppose we just need to do a search from top to bottom to top.
I mean, there's no guarantee we'll be able to find anything, given that they could be invisible. You magic people like to do that, I think.
Does detect magic catch people who are invisible? At least know that there's someone invisible around.
I think so.
All right. Well, I can at least have a proximity alarm go off if someone is doing something like that.
All right.
I definitely think we should all work in pairs. Nobody go alone at this point.
That is fair.
All right, so you're gonna do a thorough search of the ship, yeah? In pairs?
Yeah.
Dr. Carey's using his ritual detect magic to do a sweep.
Yeah, from feet I have. Yes. No, I have the warlock ability to just cast detect magic at will. So I can just cast it, wait till it dies, cast it again,
nice.
and just like sweep the whole place. I mean, it doesn't see very far, so if I just kind of walk and do it. But yeah, I think if I cover every spot, I can just see if there's some at least unexpected magic around.
Sure. And everyone can, in any case, you're helping each other out as you're searching. So each of the pairs, whoever has the highest perception, can roll perception with advantage.
I have a +3 to metagame here.
I need a 4.
I got a +3.
Okay, I'm the worst then. So that's fine. I can just relax. I can just lean back on my magic. That's why it's there. The human body is flawed, and magic is perfect.
I'll still take into account that you've got your magical.
Yeah, I'm
radar on,
helping. Yeah. So I don't know who should. Axel, you and I.
Yes, Squishy Wizard, I shall be your friend.
Excellent. Well, make sure I don't bump into anything. Sometimes when I'm seeing the magics, I don't see what's in front of my face.
Not good.
Rough.
All right, Astral, I'll help you scour this ship for any assassins.
All right. Keep your eyes peeled. Look out for anything suspicious. And honestly, at this point, shoot first and ask questions later.
I like that.
And do the perception. Just did do 20 for some reason, because I'm smart. That is a 13 on the dice.
Okay, so you guys have swept the ship. Dr. Carey hasn't picked up anything on the radar except for a moment when you are passing by Fred and Cricklet. You're getting some pings off Ryeback's body. As you've gone through your search, you've noticed that, apart from the fact that they are really struggling to find a way to set up like a pulley system to get him up one of the shafts, that Vina and the other two have not returned to the fishing, and they seem to be huddled in what seems to be the little nest they've made for themselves down at one of the ends of the deck, the lower deck, whispering amongst themselves with looks of concern on their face. But you've searched the Tyrant ship from top to bottom. You've returned to look down the hollow deck, and you can see that there's nothing moving around there. Are you wanting to search there? You don't think it would really make any sense that anyone could be there, given that that's where you were, but are you going in there too?
I think maybe talk to Vina and her friends again. don't know.
Yummy.
Something like that.
Okay. But your research doesn't come up with any stowaway.
Well, this is a mystery we may need to stew over for a while. We still have the mission.
I don't trust the weasel. Too smooth on the sticks. Too convenient.
He was smooth. Anyway.
Flag of the flag.
Whoever is trying to sabotage this will probably try again, so we just keep our eyes open and don't let our guard down. Maybe we'll just catch somebody in the act and we won't have to do all this investigation. Easy peasy, right?
Well, they could just be waiting until we get to where we're going. Then they meet up with whoever they's gonna meet up with there, tell them about us, and then mission's over. We're gone. Never to be heard from again.
I didn't think that. That's a possibility.
So at this point, we got a ticking clock. Now, either that clock is because the mission is ticking, or because we're getting closer to the mission and potentially delivering our doom.
Like a crocodile ticking and going to try to bite our hands off. Exactly.
Yeah, what you said.
I like that.
So your investigation doesn't seem to have reached any clear conclusions. Is there some next step, or are you giving it? You're going to put it in the we need to just carry on, or make a decision on what to do next?
I do want to do one more thing, I guess. Once Carrie doesn't want to help with the horrible-looking work of hauling a giant corpse around, so she doesn't want to bother them. But once the corpse is stashed wherever its final destination is, once everybody's walked away, she wants to go and investigate the corpse of Ryeback.
Okay.
Because of the magic you detected?
Yes.
It takes Fred and Cricklet good part of 6 to 7 hours to
Good job. Good job,
figure
boys.
out how to get him up the shaft to the top little eye tentacles of your Tyrant ship. And
Well, special commendations.
they head back to the deck, and they are grumbling in a terrible mood about how hungry they are, and they start like ransacking the food supplies for what they can get their hands on.
Uh-oh, someone's gonna have to cook.
Leaving the body unattended. What's everyone done over those hours in the ship?
Did we? So we have. I think I was like. We have a body of a gnome creature that is sort of in this shabby state of repairs, and I feel like we were about to assemble it, and then we walked away because of this McKevin thing.
That's correct.
So did we have the part? No, do we have the parts to try to do something? I forget.
Yeah,
There was a clock
three
to
We
get.
had the two. Yeah,
We were
had the two legs.
missing
My name?
like some eyes, a voice box, and there was something else. But I think we were starting to.
There's like fly legs or something like that. Or yeah, like
We were
like
going
a
to
power
start
leg.
configuring. Right.
You have-
We were going to
You
start
had
assembling.
attached one leg so far.
Yeah, I was gonna say I thought we either started or we're in the middle of a task.
You started to attach the leg, but it was interrupted by McKevin. But as soon as you go back to that,
Right.
the dice roll is going to apply, and that's going to be a successful rebinding of the
Right.
of the first
Okay.
normal leg. Yep.
Well, then that seems like something that it would be worth me accomplishing right now while we're waiting around.
Dr. Carey
Doing
puts on the autonome's leg. What about everyone else? What's Axel, Ace, and Astria doing?
Ace and I were the ones that were still down in the holodeck searching for more parts at the time when they were building it. We had a 7 roll and a 21 roll for 2 of the 6.
Yes, so that would mean after, if you return, is that you're returning to that task to carry on looking? Because you never actually went back down there, that got interrupted as well.
Okay. Honestly, at this point, I think Axel would actually be like wanting to take care of his wounds because he's definitely on high alert now with the assassination attempt. He would try to take some time to probably use a mess kit on himself or one of his potions to kind of heal himself up a little bit.
Are you thinking like short rest and then do stuff, or taking a long rest, like patching up, take care of the rest of this tomorrow kind of thing?
I guess that would depend on what else the rest of the crew wanted to do.
Yeah, did we do this already?
I'm fine with the short rest, but if they want to do a long rest, I'm good with that as well.
There was a short rest that you took before the battle with the Mephits.
Ah, okay.
Ace got pretty tore up in that battle, so I wouldn't mind taking either a or maybe possibly even more.
So here's my thinking on it, at least from Estria's point of view. My trance allows me to do a 4-hour long rest, so I was planning on doing that to also get my spell slots back, and then going to talk to McKevin.
It's 4 hours of meditation, but it's still an 8-hour long rest. But then you can just do whatever for the other 4 hours, right? It doesn't reduce your okay. So as the leg of the autonome is being reattached, and the rest of you look to kind of rest up, patch yourselves up, go into a meditative state, Vina approaches Dr. Carey in this situation. It's going to approach Dr. Carey. And she says, you need to use Ryeback's sending stone and call the bosun, because the teacher's dead, and you know, well, obviously, like, we can't do the whole exam now. Like, we have to go another time when the teacher's not dead, right? Like, who's going to be doing the scores of our marks if the teacher's dead? So the longer we wait, the further we are from the academy. So we need to just like stop now and cancel this, and that's what we need to do. That's what I think. That's what I would do if I was captain. So.
Well, I agree that calling back to the academy is wise, and perhaps you and I should go into to Ryeback's body and find that so we can make that call. But
yeah, because as soon as you talk,
the mission is not.
Tato's going to say that you're going to have to like wait for a teacher to come, because you're not going on a mission without a teacher.
The mission is the mission.
Yeah, and so the mission's going to be cancelled as soon as you call the teacher, because the teachers are going to come, because you can't have dead teachers on the mission, obviously.
Are there anyone? Is anyone else from the group? Are they all? Is it nap time for everybody else?
I mean, technically, I'm conscious if I'm in the room.
Yeah. If you can be in the area of. They've all taken their places downstairs. You can like find comfortable spots to make your beds, like in the helm area. There's plenty of space.
Okay, so she looks around. I mean, if she looks around and sees any hanging around doing whatever their task is, she sort of motions her head, you know, the get over here sort of look. She says but having made that motion, she sort of returns to Vina. The grade will be fail if we don't finish the mission.
We already failed the mission. The teacher's dead.
Keeping Ryeback alive was not the mission. Keeping the asteroid out of the hands of the Mercane was the mission.
Yeah, but you don't do the mission when the teacher dies. That's not how it works.
She's gonna like feel a body like come up behind her. She's gonna see the shadow once again, reminiscent of what happened in the barracks.
She tenses up.
And all she hears is We proceed on mission.
Oh my god, this is totally on you guys then. Like, whatever. And she walks off.
Mommy.
Maybe we could call Mert on that sending
I
stone.
think she had a valid point about the standing still, but we should continue.
All right, well, if she stormed off, then now's a great time to go proud at the corpse.
Okay. You go and check Ryeback's body,
Turn on my magic scanning again.
which makes it much easier to find that he has 3 sending stones on him. A paired set that are identical, and then another sending stone that doesn't have a pair. And he also has a very intact bag, satchel, given that the rest of his body is so badly burnt. The satchel there's not a mark on it. And it's glowing magical as well.
Well, if he's carrying any secret mission documents, I suppose we might need to know what his secret mission documents are. And yoink, she opens up the bag.
You open up the bag and it's like looking into this void much bigger than it should be.
Nice.
You can't see anything in the void though.
If I stick my hand into the bag, can I feel around if there's anything in there?
Yes, almost as soon as you stick your hand in the bag, it's like you find something instantly that you didn't see a moment ago. And you take it out, and it's a set of Tinkerer's tools.
Oh!
Aha!
Well, these are clearly meant for the mission. She'll set that aside, just turn through anything in there, turning the bag out. Oh, can you just turn the bag out? Well, no, she would want to do it systematically. This is Exhibit A. This is Exhibit B.
Okay, you systematically turn out 10 healing potions.
Oh boy.
Oh, nice.
And the bag, other than that, is empty.
Oh, well, this is very, very convenient. Do we all agree these are mission critical pieces of equipment that the captain can appropriate?
I would say they were for us. Suppose sending stones were meant for us, one for him and for us when we were on our mission.
Oh yeah. Well, is the question is who's holding the other one? So there's the paired ones, which puts down by the we might want to take in 2 seconds category.
Let's can we try it? Use it, maybe. Maybe it's Mert.
Yeah, it's someone's. This is why my question is: yes, do we know? We don't know who's on the other side of it, but I suppose there's only one option but to call.
Just say new stone. Who dis? I heard somebody say that before.
Carrie sort of holds the unpaired one and offers it to see if anyone else wants to talk on the phone.
I'd do it.
Esther's gonna like look at him and be like, yeah, I don't want to talk to nobody.
If Ace is willing to chat on the phone with whoever's on the other side, just random dial this person. Carrie hands it over.
Right, absolutely. I'll see who it is. Yeah. So I'm like poking at how do you turn this?
Who's playing with the sending stone? Ryeback, is that you?
Hi. No, it's not Ryeback.
How did you get this phone?
You recognize the voice of Bosun Tardo.
Tardo, well, Ryeback wanted us to check in.
So soon?
Just
Does anyone got
everything's fine. We just wanted to let you know that the mission is planned. Going ahead. That's what he said.
Make a deception check, please.
Going as planned. Sure. With pleasure. Deception.
Oh,
Ooh.
Pretty good.
all right,
It's
well,
26.
consider yourself checked in then.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, so...
No, I'm not chatting. This is not for chatting.
What? Oh, okay. All right, then.
Only
everything
use
good,
this
everything good at the
in
academy?
an emergency. Do you
Oh,
understand?
got it. Yes. Crystal clear.
Oh,
All right. Ace out.
Bloody cadets.
I assume they heard that it was Tardo.
It was Tardo. Yeah, he'll agree that the only way to not fail is to complete the mission. So why don't maybe you should just keep that in your own pocket and we'll let that be.
Oh yeah, not stowing it away.
The way I understand it, the old wolf probably would want us to, finish this at all costs, even if that cost is high. So we best be pressing on.
So there's one Tardo sending stone, and then there's also a pair of sending stones that you can use to talk amongst yourselves, and the bag of holding.
I'll go ahead.
Who will carry the Tardo stone? Who's going to take the Tardo stone?
I'll hold the Tardo stone.
Okay. And the other pair, are you going to keep that as a pair, or are you immediately going to give that to two different people?
So Minius and I, at least, we can talk to you guys wherever we are anyways, so I don't think I need it, or I think you guys might be better off with it. Or the pair.
This is true. And if we're going along with that logic, it might be best if I take one of the pair. I can move pretty fast, I would say. At least I feel like I could, if I worked at it a little bit.
If Axel takes the other one, Estrian will start hearing him, use it to sharpen his blade.
I think you should.
And who's going to carry the bag of holding?
Yeah, well, someone, there's 10 potions, so I think it might make sense that whoever carries around 10 potions carries them in the bag. So, who might be a sensible person to carry around a big stash of potions?
I'm not
I have
gonna
my
lie.
potion bandolier. I don't need a bag.
I'm not gonna lie. I mostly travel with whatever I got, so ain't got room for much else.
I would trust either yourself or Zozo to handle the potions, Dr.
I can take them for now, being the one who's having the conversation.
I mean, the magic and stay with the magic user, right?
Carrie does not look inclined to argue about her having the bag, so.
Okay, so the next 7 hours, then you're resting up. All right, so let's.
I think so.
Yeah, if that's all yes. Probing at the magic stuff was what Carrie wanted to do, so if that's done, then
Yes.
the rest makes sense to me.
Astral would just do her 4 hours and then go find McKevin.
Okay. McKevin has isolated himself in a small pod in a corner of the lower deck.
Astra's gonna kind of knock on the door and say, "You in there, partner?"
It's more like an arch, but
Oh, okay. That's
no
it.
doors.
I'll knock on the the frame then, yeah. And do a mind if I join you?
No, I was looking forward to your apology, so yeah, come in.
All right then, I'll get that out of the way. I do apologize for what happened in the simulation. Not so much the fact that you were left behind, as I did not have much say in that. I was myself in distress.
I'm sorry to hear that. That's not good. What was wrong?
No, some kind of like energy thing and my like animus. I don't know. It was all really weird and painful, and I'm still trying to sort through like all the images and stuff. But that's on me. But you know that don't excuse the fact of you were left behind, and that ain't cool, brother. So
I apologize for your difficulties.
And you know what? I'm going to apologize for my team because I don't know that they might or might not, but they do mean well. They just,
I thought Ace was nice, but he left me.
The way I see it, partner, is we can only look out for ourselves in this world because ain't nobody gonna be looking out for you better than you. And if along the way you find someone who you think, yeah, I can trust them to look my back up, but to go for it. But always have an eye out just to make sure they're still back there. Because sometimes they might not be. Sometimes they might have fallen. Sometimes they might have gotten lost. All you can do is press on.
You'd make a good dad one day.
Well, I ain't one for doing families because, mine was not great. I mean, from what I remember, they may or may not have been like breeding me to be a sacrifice of some sort. Not too clear on the details just yet, but yeah.
Well, I understand.
Anyway, partner, I understand and would sympathize with your position.
I understand too.
Yeah, at the moment, we ain't got time for animosity and such, because we deep in it. A bit more than you.
Friends again.
All right, I appreciate that, partner. Just know things is gonna get kind of weird soon. So whatever you do, know that what we're doing is on the Academy's orders, and we're gonna make sure nothing bad happens to us.
What does that mean?
I wish I could tell you, partner. I really do.
That sounds like you have secrets, Astria.
We've all got secrets, partner. Just some of us are better at hiding them.
That's true. I don't have secrets, though.
Well, good on you, then.
I'm really just an honest person. I'm like an open book, honestly. Would you like to be like an open book, Astria, and tell me your secret?
Well, if I was to tell you this secret, then I would be betraying the trust of another who has, for lack of a better word, put a lot of trust in me.
You could just nod. I could ask you questions and you could just nod or shake your head. And that's not telling a secret, that's just nodding and shaking your head.
I suppose that's fair.
Okay. Does your secret have to do with the Quartermaster?
She's gonna nod her head.
Does your secret have to do with the mission to get the meteorite?
She's going to wait for another beat or two and then kind of nod her head like, yep.
Okay. I didn't have any more questions.
All right, I appreciate you not delving too deep. Honestly, at some point, I will expect that we're gonna have to reveal what's going on to you fellas that ain't in the loop at this time, but until such time as we have to cross that bridge, I'd rather not.
Okay. Good talk.
Good talk, partner. And keep looking out for yourself, you hear?
Okay. I just look out for myself and no one else, right?
No. I'm saying look out for yourself first, but make sure everybody around you is, taken care of as well. Because, you might be out there, but you're going to be better when you got a team behind you.
It's complicated.
And trust me on that one. Life's pretty complicated.
Okay. So I'm going to try, all right? To look out for myself first.
You do that.
Thank you, Astral.
She's gonna do a little wave as she trots off to just, I don't even know, just do clean her gun, I guess.
All right. The hours pass. You are now squarely decided on continuing on your mission without alerting the academy or your tutors, your superiors, as to what's going on. So we're going to go into a montage. It's going to be 4 full days before you reach the system, the wild space system where Hekatha is. So what would your major activity be during that time?
Ace is going to be focused on making sure the ship is fully functional, repaired, cleaning up the fire mess and just making sure everything working properly.
Okay, so you're tidying up the area. Are you going to take charge of everyone getting fed?
Yeah. I don't have any cooking skill, but yeah, why not?
All right. Give me 4 days. Give me 4 checks. Survival checks.
If your first roll is very bad, Carrie does have cooking proficiency, so she might interrupt the sequence of rolls if you don't impress her on day 1.
Okay, yeah, fair. Yeah, so I'm in the kitchen area day 1, cleaning and just making sure it's all ship shape, and I'm like, why don't I cook? Okay. I make something something pretty decent.
Okay. The first day there's enough fresh supplies to not actually have to cook. But
okay.
Now there's going to have to be some type of improvised camping going on without a proper cooker because the cooker was destroyed.
Right.
So the next 3 days will be at disadvantage.
Okay.
Of course.
Here we go. I've cooked over a campfire before, guys. It's just like being in the wilderness, right?
It's impossible fare. It's an edible meal. It does not taste nice, but you came up with an edible meal on 6
See, it's just like when you're camping. It might be a little burnt, but that makes it good, right?
I've had worse.
Me too.
Yes, have I.
Here we go.
Does Carrie step in after day 3?
That's gonna be just
you're doing a good job with what you can, Ace. She tries to convince him that it's not terrible.
Okay.
You just have to add a lot of sauce. That's the key. Just keep dumping that sauce.
Day 3, everyone's going to
surprisingly still had worse.
A constitution check from everyone on day 3, sorry. Yeah, that does not sit well with Dr. Carey. Everyone else stomachs it. Ace has got a bit of a rumbling stomach.
Sorry, Dr. Carey. I don't know how to cook for.
No, the it's just the hardship of the mission. It's very good.
So whatever is you're doing on day 3, Dr. Carey has poison, sickness, food poisoning.
No, boy.
So you've got the sickness condition for that day. And
Okay.
the last day of food there, Ace.
All right, let's do this. I think I feel good. Gotta hit disadvantage here. I learned what I did wrong last time. It was I cooked it too long.
What's up with
16.
No, it's not all the way
The
over there.
last meal is a huge comeback. It's magnificent. There were some really low morale there on the ship, but the last day just pulled it back together and cheers everyone up. There's even some laughter and joking.
You know, I make mistakes, but I always learn.
All right, what is everyone else's major task that they're dedicating themselves on this 4-day journey?
I think Axel's major task is, once again, he is very suspicious. So he's combing the hallways. He's just patrolling the entire time when he's not resting.
Okay. All right. Let's do a major search each day to see if you come across anything strange.
Perception or investigation?
Perception. Yeah. Kind of need to find something to investigate, figure out what it is you've seen.
Gotcha.
All right, Axel, a man on a mission.
Getting more and more used to it.
You know the ship upside down. You can get around that ship now so quick. You've mastered all of the jumping up the chutes, and they're magical elevators now for you. But nothing untoward, no stowaway comes up, no signs of someone avoiding detection that you can see, and you have really turned this place upside down. What about Dr. Carey and Astral?
Gotta be my kid.
Yeah, I think that Dr. Carey would sort of start that first day. Anytime any of the other group would sort of come by, she'd pretend to be reading, but just peering over the book, listening to what they're saying, watching for any such activities. But the whole time she tries to devote herself to that, but she feels the tinker's tools sort of in her fingers. She just wants to fiddle with that, so she gets distracted. She feels herself constantly drifting back to fiddle with this little limb and this little eyebrow nodule. And so eventually she ends up giving up on the whole being a master spy and just fiddles.
Are you going to keep on trying to put the autonym back together?
Yeah. Yes. Okay. That's what yes, that's what she'd like to do. She spends the time pursuing that hobby.
Okay.
Though I bet the last day is not going to go well.
Well, day 3, yeah, you're going to have
disadvantage.
Okay, so you can make 3 major attempts each day. If you fail, you've got the 2 limbs left to attach, so it might not take you more than a day to actually sort it out. So the more complicated parts, they have a greater difficulty to attach. So the hover leg is harder than the normal leg to attach. But it will attach with your smithing tools. So if you prefer to use the tinker tools, you can use them as a substitute, because they're similar enough that you know your way around them. But instead of your full proficiency, you've only got half your proficiency with them. So instead of a +2, they're giving you a +1.
Okay, well, she'd do this thing that she was most confident in being able to do first. So I guess the legs go on with the smith tools. That seems like the first place she'd go. So you said 3 rolls per day?
Yes, you can try 3 rolls per day. Yep.
All right, well, so here's day 1. There's a roll of...
Okay, straight away, you get the leg on. First go.
No, I rolled. I should have. Yes, I agree.
Leaving only the arm, because the other parts haven't been found yet. So,
Okay.
The arm does not go as well. That is the gun arm. It's also difficult, so that's being more fiddly. But you can keep trying. You can have your third attempt for the first day.
That third attempt is a natural 20, which goes up to a 22.
Beautiful. All right, so after a day's work, you've got all of the major limbs of the autonym put together. It can stand up, it can hover, and it's got its arms and can turn it into like a rifle.
All right. Does this thing have a did we decide that we need to assemble like a face of some sort?
It has a face. It just doesn't have eyes. So.
Oh, okay. Doesn't have eyes. I see.
Yeah, and when it tries to make noise, like it is making noise, it's just kind of like
Is there, Carrie, is there like a voice modulator? Is like a that we need for that?
Yeah, you
have
think
it?
that there's like you figure that there's like the eyes are obviously going to need something to make it able to be able to see, and something to modulate the voice, and probably there's some interior parts that once you look into it that are required for the full functioning of the system. You think the arm can be attached to some electrical parts that maybe it's able to like generate electricity itself, but that's going to need some more intricate tinkering of the interior to connect that particular part.
And do we feel like we had searched that? So the center, I don't know if we mentioned this today, but the center of this ship is just a huge pile of junk. Do we feel like rummaging through that is a possible source of these parts?
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
Okay. Well, that might be. Why don't I let other people say what they want to do? It seems like if Carrie has nothing more to do, her obsession might drive her to just rummaging for days on end to find these pieces.
Okay. So what about Astria?
I think Astria would start off by trying to figure out how the guns on the ship work and if they're able to fire at this time.
Interesting. Okay. All right. So, cool. Let's say you can have 3 attempts per day. They get increasingly harder, and they're going to be initially an investigation check on the first day.
Okay.
Oh.
That is a nat 20 plus 0, which is a nat 20.
Okay, that's going to give you advantage on the next 2 checks as well.
Sweet. Still investigation, right?
Yes, but now with advantage.
Okay, that is a 16 with the advantage, and last 19 with advantage.
Nice. Okay. You're almost certain that you don't have the physical appendages necessary to activate those things, but you are able to figure out that the spelljamming throne navigator could subvert the system through the throne and avoid all of the natural controls of the ship that require basically being a beholder, you kind of figure out, and having these magical eye stalks, that the person in the throne, sitting in the throne, could subvert the system and take control over those 3 lookouts, could be turned into like essentially magical cannons.
Okay. In that case, since I'm assuming that would have taken the first day,
Yep.
On the second day, Astria would go to Dr. Carey and say,
What you would have figured out, though, you've figured out that you think you know the bay that it connects to, so you could direct the navigator's attention to taking over that bay to activate the cannons.
Okay, yeah. Then whoever is on the helm at that time, I guess I would go to them and inform them of
I think Zeminius is
and,
navigating at the moment. Makes the most sense for him to be doing that.
So yeah, I'll relay the information I have on this weapons bay to Zominius, and ideally he will be able to get weapons online.
Okay. So that could be a task that Zominius then would take over the next 2 or 3 days, given that it needs to be sitting down, which would free you up to... You've unlocked it for Zominius, basically.
Cool.
Leaving you 3 days to do something else.
In that case, honestly, Estria would probably do whatever kind of training she can do in this area, whether it be just physical or trying to meditate or what have you.
Would Estria be interested in training something that she's not good at? Training something related to the new working as a crew member type skills, or working as an officer type skills, or something that she's already good at, essentially?
I think in this case, given that we're going into a situation we don't really know what's going to go on, she'd probably try to work at something new, because it might come in handy.
Okay, what is she gonna... So thinking of the skills that you have, or the abilities that you have, or the kind of the ship type skills that could be possible, what's she focusing on? Mate, give me a specific thing that she's focusing on.
I think would this ship have a library, like a database of any sort?
Not accessible to humanoids.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think she'd probably go and try to actually, she would probably just go and help Dr. Carey fix up the autonome, because that would be fairly new to her and a task that could be.
You want to help
helpful.
find the parts that Dr. Carey needs? Okay, so that would leave Dr. Carey and Estria with 3 days to find the rest of the parts and put together the autonome. Yep.
Yep.
Okay. So you can make 3 checks per day to find a part. Arcana 15 is your target, and if you can get up to 20, then you find a special part of your own invention instead.
Okay.
Are you going down into the scraps as well, Dr. Carey, to help out, providing advantage in the search? Or are you leading the search with Estria helping you?
My Arcana is +6, so...
That's definitely better than my Arcana.
Okay.
I will help you.
Great. Then I will roll, I guess, with advantage. So here comes 2 rolls. So I declare ahead of time. The first thing she wants to find is the voice modulator part thing. So that's definitely what she has her sort of closest eye out for. So if I get to savor that, that's step 1. All right, there's roll 1 and roll 2 of the first batch. That is a 14. Sorry. 14. The next one is a 19. And the last one is a third. Oops, something went wrong there. Oops, I clicked animal handling once of those times. So that 13 is really a 19. So
okay.
14, 19, 19.
Okay, so you've found 2 parts. You've found something that would make servable eyes is the first thing that you've found.
Okay.
And the second thing that you find, unfortunately, is not as you're looking for some type of voice modulator, you do find something you're like, oh, this is going to be it. But you actually think it's going to be the thing that will connect the ability to focus electricity into its limbs instead.
Yeah.
That would leave the 3rd day to finish the search of... Basically now you are looking for just the voice modulator is all you need, basically.
Okay, I'm not feeling very well today. Why don't you take over, Estria? Can I just help?
Yeah.
She's very ineffectual. She doesn't look over there.
Yeah, you got a weird color going on in your, what is that, Titan?
I can't imagine what it is.
All right, then. Do it with advantage, right?
Yes.
Okay, that is a 16 for the first attempt.
All right, you find a voice modulator.
Oh, okay. That's right. Oh, right. It's 15. Okay.
So now all that is left is to put those parts together.
Okay. Well, I have my free fourth day.
There's still 2 parts of day 3 if you just want to take it easy and wait till you're feeling better on the 4th day.
Yeah, I don't feel like it'd be best if I was working on this on this particular day.
Yeah, let's just call it an early day, Doc.
This is great. This is exactly what I was looking for. Thank you.
No problem. You go get
I'm gonna go in the corner.
All right.
Axel pops up. All clear again.
Keep it up, partner.
There's actually nice smells from the kitchen coming today. Not like the day before.
I found some different ingredients.
Yeah, I think the eggs yesterday might have been a tad spoiled.
They smelled really bad, but I thought that meant
Vena's
good.
like, that's not the eggs. That's the hippo.
Yeah, that's what I was worried about.
Ah, yeah. Thanks, Vena.
Womp womp. All right, so I'm gonna roll Smith 3 times.
Yes.
Here's a 1. Oh, and I definitely want to put in the modulator first, if the order matters. So, there's a 19.
That's good. Yep.
Okay. I guess she said you can say, make gun bigger, let it see what shoots with gun. Bigger gun, see the gun. It seems like we want the eyes in. We want it shooting electricity in every direction. So that'll be her next goal. Oof, that's bad the first time. So 7 the first time.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a most unpleasant feeling.
No, I'm sorry.
Oh,
Let me fix that. Let me fix that. I can fix it.
I see you now.
Oh, and you can speak.
Oh, you're surprising. You have 4 arms. I have 2 arms.
That's a fact. Are you with the academy?
I have learned many things in my time. I am 3 years old.
Happy birthday? Oh, no, never mind. How did you get in the ship?
My name is Tolstoy von Bibbidi. What is your name?
My name is Dr. Carissa Tappenham. Thank you very much.
That is a pleasant name.
What is your...
Dr.
Oh, excuse-
Krista Tappenham? Did I say that correctly? Krista?
Carissa.
Ah, sorry.
You say
Carissa.
Dr. Carey is fine. Yes. Yes. Thank you. Good.
Dr. Carey is fine. Okay.
Were you made to be part of the ship?
I was.
What is your major function?
My major function was serving those who were taken by the floating eye creatures.
Oh.
They were
Oh, you're an orphan?
torn apart, and so was I.
Are they the sort of person who we can put back together?
Negative.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Well-
I didn't mind.
We're flying into deep peril right now. You're welcome to stay here on the ship until we can redock, but I'm afraid I thought that if worse was come to worse, it would be best if you could see and also hover, if you could see down there, and also attack hostile people with this arm you'll see right here.
You think a lot of things, don't you?
Yeah, well, best be safe. Yes, best, better be safe than sorry. That's what I always say. Yes.
I have no fear function, so Really, I don't mind if I'm torn apart again. If you need me to serve you in a dangerous situation, I won't mind. I am most grateful, and I am happy to tag along behind you like a puppy, as they say.
Oh, very, very good. Sit?
Oh, well, certainly.
And Carrie says, thank you. Okay, and Carrie just bustles off to sort of clean up her work area and things like that.
All right. Fum Bibbidi stays there, sitting obediently, just waiting for the next time someone approaches to talk to them.
I feel like that would be Esther. She'd probably come in and check on the doctor. Like, hey, doctor, how you? Oh, you got it working.
I am.
Oh yes,
fully
very pleasant. You can
now.
speak of them.
I can see you. I can hear you. I felt you before. That was a great job on my legs. Thank you. My new leg is much better.
Excellent. Well, I'm glad you're functioning, little gnome bot. Hopefully you don't get torn apart again, but things can happen in the deep space.
That would be preferable, but I can be repaired.
Well, all right. Glad to have you aboard. And she's gonna kind of just wander around and see if there's anything that Axel might have missed in his patrols.
Just as we backtrap our last little moment, I'm going to ask for you to each describe one incredible moment that happened during those 4 days. Just of your own invention.
I think I've got one if no one else does.
Go for it.
Legit. So I think this is actually on the 4th day when she doesn't really have much to do left. She would probably go into one of the stalks and just kind of like look out into the ether and see the view. And I would like to imagine that at some point they're like possibly passing by a nebula and there's like space whales breaching in the nebula.
Legendary. Nice. Love it. And you hear this strange alien whale call, just, and the little babies answer back, and they're so far away, but they're still so huge, like 10 times the size of any land whale that you could imagine. They're like living mountains.
Makes sense.
Okay. Excellent.
I think Axel's just gonna compound on the fact that like he knows how to go up and down the shaft so well now. It's almost like a magical elevator. I don't know if anyone's played Ninja Gaiden, but when they used to like flip from side to side on the wall, so if anyone's watching, when he goes up or down a shaft, he just starts flipping from side to side and just disappears really quickly.
Nice. Love it. Love it.
Well, I gotta be honest. I'm imagining sort of my own montage, which is once Carrie's sort of workspace is cleaned off, she goes back to Van Bobbity, and now all of a sudden the genre shifts, and you're just seeing pictures like they're being shown like Polaroids from a vacation, and it's just showing her interacting with Van Bobbity. So in the first one, you see Van Bobbity balancing a bone on his nose, and Carrie looking very impressed, and he looks very confused. And then she's throwing a stick, and he's looking very confused. And then there's a shot where he's like blasting lightning, and then she is jumping back, looking shocked. And then you can see them talking. She has an arm around him. They're talking like friends. So there's a little vacation montage of her. It's not just a dog that she can command.
Nice. A little moment of humanity from a four-armed
yeah, I don't
creature.
That's right.
So on the 3rd day, when I the meal's really bad, I'm just kind of feeling a little down because I got Carrie sick. I'm feeling a little queasy and stuff. And I'm just searching around, looking for more supplies, better. And I run into Ryeback's secret stash of sweets. I find like maybe some fancy chocolates, and I'm just kind of just gorge myself on those. I did so bad, but this is so good. maybe I'll save a couple, pass them around. I'll save a couple for my friends and pass them around the crew. But
He's like, I'm gonna miss this pudding.
Ryeback, you came through in the end, buddy. just feeling horrible. Just food poisoned and eating chocolate.
Awesome. So the approach of the edge of this wild space system is like approaching a sheer wall of glass visually. The only one that can really sense it is the navigator, because the only deck that really has like windows on the outside is the holodeck. Unless you're up in the stalks, you're not seeing it. So perhaps Estria, in that moment of the whales, you're still up there and is perhaps perceiving it from one of those eye stalks.
Sure.
But Zemenius perceives that there's like a moment where the throne interacts with what would be like a reality separator in a way, that reacts with the throne and kind of goes to open up a portal, but it acts in the strangest way, like there's already a tear in this reality separator, a massive tear that the throne kind of stops reacting, and the Tyrant ship just flies through this tear rather than having to open it up. And the last moments of the journey in wild space, the speeds now with much more planetoids, moons, and asteroids in the wild space system, the ship begins to slow, and you approach this very bizarre disk planet that is Hakatha. It is a flat Earth, so to speak, but 80% of it is water, and that freezes on the outsides as you are very, very far away from the sun system in this wild space system. You're basically on the outer edge of it, where you encounter this planet, and the landmass at the center of this planet is huge. It's a spire that's only rivaled by the one that you couldn't see the top of where you were parked up, but it is reminiscent of that. And this watery disk has to be thousands of miles wide. And as you're flying, you're noticing that there is this strange, Estria and Zemenius would be the only ones that really can notice it, but they're both aware of this strange, rippling, cracked light in the air that seems to be everywhere you look. Your focus goes away, you look somewhere else, and that rippling, cracked visual sensation returns no matter where you look. So, remembering the warning from Tardo just before you left, that do not land this in water, it will sink like stone, the ship is brought in by Zemenius to hover just above the water near the beach, effectively, of this huge, massive fang of stone. The gear has some rope ladders. That was some of the things that were brought in. So I'm going to let you, as the officers on the mission, now organize how you're going to put things together, who's going where, who's remaining in the ship to make sure that it's safe and protected from any possible dangers, and how you're setting up your communication systems. And over you guys. You have arrived on the beach of the spire of Hekatha, which is where you need to be to find the Astral, the meteorite of adamantine. You do know that it supposedly struck the spire, this meteorite. So.
Do we currently know that we're in the area of this asteroid, or if it looks like this spire thing is enormous? Is it really? Do we think we need to fly around to look to search for it?
You could do that, but you'd need to make sure that someone's got like proper eyes, like a good up in the tentacles or down in the holodeck to like get a good view to make sure you're at the right beach.
Okay. It seems like the first thing to do would be to sort of skim around to make sure that we sort of have an idea of where we're either searching an entire planet or we have an idea where we need to get close to where we have an indication that it landed.
Yeah, I think that's smarter for sure.
I have this the navigation small eyeglass thing.
Right.
I can climb up into ice socks.
I'm also in there as well.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Does Axel want to try and get eyes on that from, unless you're like entering the third of three, which is where Ryeback's body is. You have to go to the holodeck. So.
Can someone haul that down for the stock?
Here, as you call that out, quickly, not me. You know how long it took me to get that up there.
That's
I mean, yeah.
I'll probably just go back to the holodeck then. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So from the holodeck, the view is much more difficult. So you can still have a perception check with disadvantage, but Ace and Astria, you've got a good view, and Ace with your little binoculars, you've got a +2 on your roll there.
Didn't help that much.
Set of rolls.
Oh,
Here's a legendary thunder.
You've done a couple of circles of the mountain, and you do notice, like in the distance, there is like a shape moving in the sky. It looks like it could be another Tyrant.
Yikes.
yeah, it looks like we're not alone out here. Take it on foot.
Do you want to keep like searching, or kind of like land and keep your Tyrant hidden away from that zooming silhouette that's far at the moment, but if you're going to keep circling, could spot you possibly. Although you are in a Tyrant ship, so good camouflage.
Just fly casually.
Gonna go around once more. Take your chances.
Yeah, if people are willing and able to keep looking, I feel like we want to.
I'm game.
I'm game.
Oh, what a pity.
The
windows are so small.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll say 19.
Hey, there we go. 23.
Okay. The second time around, you both see it. There is like a circular impact mark in one of the faces of the spire. So you figure that if it hit there, it probably fell down somewhere in a trajectory from that side, that landing on that beach is the good beach. I'm just gonna roll a fly casually roll for Viz.
Ooh, trying too hard, I think.
You do see that shape has kind of like changed course, and might be flying in your guys' direction now. So you might want to do whatever you're doing with speed.
You punch it to try to land nearby the impact site. Or the
I think we should. Yeah, I think we should take it down here. This is the right area.
All right, it's a race.
He's gonna have to leave
Yes.
at a hover, not being able to dock, which means you're gonna have to use the rope ladders to actually get down to the beach.
Oh,
Ooh, exciting.
that's exciting.
This is Ace's kind of thing.
I guess we're all deploying. I guess if Zome is in the helm, we should all deploy to engage in the search.
Do we want to take any of the others with us? Like keep.
We need to keep an eye on Kevin.
Right.
Sure.
Or maybe, like, somebody needs to watch Vina. If she's sketchy, just as it.
I mean, we'll have our gnome friend with the captain. They might be able to
good idea.
keep an eye on things.
We could have him watch. Yes.
Oh yeah, I can set him as a guard.
Tolstoy.
Yes, how can I be of service?
We're going to debark here, and we'd like you to keep an eye on you. You see that mean girl over there?
That's her name?
You know,
That
the
mean girl?
unpleasant one. You can call her Vina, the unpleasant one. I'm sure you know which one I mean.
Vina, the unpleasant one. I understand.
Yes. Just want you to keep an eye on her.
By that you mean I should follow her and see what she's doing and tell you what she does.
Perfect. Yes, exactly.
You don't literally mean that I take my eye out and put it on her.
Oh no! Monitor her if you would.
I understood. I understand the intricacies
You're
of your
smart.
language.
Would your eyes still work if you did that though?
No, they would stop working.
Good
You would
question.
need to fix me.
Okay. Yes. All right.
No,
Just making
definitely
sure.
don't do that. Definitely don't do that.
As Axel's walking by, he says, "Protect Zoe at all."
Say, okay, you're
Yes.
good, you're not.
That too.
All right. Is this a good place to have a quick break for you guys? Then you can have a think about your organized party, and we can carry on in
Yeah,
Sure.
5
definitely.
minutes.
Great.
Beautiful.
cool.
Okay.
Done.
We're going to take a 5-minute break, and we'll be back once everyone's had a bio break and a stretch of the
Yeah,
legs.
I didn't.